Hello to my colleagues at the NFID Conference on Vaccinology Research. First and foremost, I want to thank the Foundation for this wonderful honor. In all honesty, I don't consider my contributions to immunization to have quite measure up to those of many of the past recipients of the Mérieux Award, but still, this is special, and I'm very grateful to accept it. Secondly, I'm sorry I can't be there in person. In a few days, I will undergo cervical spine surgery here in Seattle, and travel will not be possible for at least several weeks. But I hope you will welcome my daughter, Chelsea, who was able to take a short leave from her medicine residency in Emory to come to Bethesda and accept the award. Chelsea plans a career in infectious disease and in global health. Obviously, I'm proud of her, and I'm pleased that she can attend the conference, even if it's just for a day. Since my scientific and public health interests intersect both enterovirus biology and immunization in general, I'd like to take this opportunity to say just a few words about the future for human enterovirus vaccines. We are now at a place where the IPV and OPV vaccines developed more than 60 years ago by Jonas Salk and Albert Sabin have brought the world to the edge of polio eradication, with only 22 cases of wild-type polio reported in the past 12 months. But now, somewhat paradoxically, because of an ongoing risk from vaccine-derived polioviruses, next-generation polio vaccines are now needed to protect future populations against recurrent polio epidemics. New IPV vaccines are being developed from Sabin strains in order to reduce containment risks during vaccine manufacturing, and indeed, the importance of this change is underscored by accidents at 2 European manufacturers just within the past 3 years that have exposed workers and the external environment to wild-type virulent polioviruses. The current IPV vaccines are also expensive from a global health perspective. New developers are using high-yielding cell lines, advanced manufacturing technologies, and dose-sparing adjuvants as strategies to reduce costs. These new IPV vaccines are already in the clinic and should become available to low-income countries in the next 2 to 5 years to protect populations after global discontinuation of all OPV use. At the same time, the Gates Foundation has initiated a program to develop a new OPV vaccine. These new OPV vaccine strains are rationally designed to be genetically stable at key attenuating sites and less prone to reversion to the neurovirulent phenotype. The first of these new strains is now undergoing clinical evaluation, and the hope is that these new OPV vaccines can be deployed, if necessary, after global discontinuation of all OPV use to protect populations specifically against circulating vaccine-derived polioviruses. Now, as many as are aware, there are already 3 formalin inactivated enterovirus 71 vaccines licensed in China. Each demonstrated greater than 90% efficacy against enterovirus 71, hand, foot, and mouth disease, and presumably the severe neurologic complications associated with enterovirus 71 infections in young children. And there are other enterovirus 71 vaccines in development in Taiwan and Singapore. What combines these large enterovirus 71 outbreaks to infants and children in the Far East is still a mystery. And the reasons why other pathogenic enteroviruses, like enterovirus D68, seem to appear and fade within a few years, yet make for another mystery, one of which makes development of vaccines for single enterovirus serotypes a major challenge. I'll conclude with a concept that is a little further out, specifically that it may be possible in the future to prevent type 1 diabetes with a vaccine directed against the Coxsackie-B viruses. Evidence is accumulating in humans that the Coxsackie-B viruses can infect pancreatic beta cells and induce an innate immune response that is strongly associated with type 1 diabetes in genetically susceptible persons. The evidence is supported by epidemiologic studies in multiple countries and now by a convincing mouse model of Coxsackie-B virus-induced diabetes. It follows that an effective vaccine could not only provide proof of concept for this etiologic link, but more importantly, prevent a serious disease, similar to what has transpired with the HPV vaccines. So in closing, the future for both polio and non-polio enterovirus infections is filled with many new candidates. with significant challenges and with intriguing possibilities. So once again, I want to thank the Foundation for the singular honor, thank my daughter for making the trip to Bethesda on my behalf, and good afternoon.